Well, good morning, everybody. Today is day 5 and hopefully the last day of this adventure. I've got about 220 miles to get back home from where I'm at tonight, or where I spent the night here in this little Airbnb. I've got to first stop, I got to get some fuel. You know, if you watched video number 4, I ran out of gas about 3.5 miles from here. I thought the engine blew on the bike because, I mean, it just came to a dead stop. It was like somebody shut the key off. Hey, pup. And, but I ran out of fuel. Luckily, I had the auxiliary tank, was able to get here. It should have enough gas to get me to a fuel station and get some breakfast. So it's about 7:30 in the morning. Let's head out and get the last leg of this adventure started. Well, hey, good morning, guys. So I've just stopped for fuel. I put 1.6 gallons in. I can't believe I allowed this crazy thing to run out of gas. I guess I was just so excited yesterday about how well it was running. Somehow I lost track of how many miles I had gone. Thank goodness I had that reserve tank. Because I'm not going to lie, when that thing shut off, I was like, uh-oh, what am I going to do now? So, alright, I have just left Vanceburg, Kentucky. I do not think I think I'm going to avoid rain. Fingers crossed somehow. It's right at 8 o'clock in the morning. The fog is kind of lifting. It's Monday morning. I don't know what the day, what would that be, the 23rd, September 23rd, 2024. So now I've got to deal with, maybe some traffic for people going to work and those sorts of things. But anyway, guys, I got 220 some miles to get home. I'm heading that way. Boy, I will be happy to get off of this road, this 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. I've got about 15 more miles to go on this, and then hopefully I can hit some back roads. I'm doing 50 right now, but there is a fierce headwind, and 50 is about everything I can do fighting the wind. And now I'm starting to go up a little bit of an incline. I'm dropping down 48, 47. I'll have to shift down here in a minute. But extremely busy road this morning. Everybody, I guess, heading to work or wherever they're going. I feel like I'm holding traffic up at some points, but I'll be glad to get off on some side roads where it's less than 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, so the bike can relax a little bit. I've got her throttle pinned and doing 45 mile an hour right now. So it'll pick up here in a little bit because now we're going to crest this hill and go down. So, but yeah, I'll be glad to get home, guys. This has been a long ride. I'm feeling good though. Don't let me discourage any of you from doing something like this. I tell you what, you got to be special kind of crazy to want to do this shit. So, all right, I'm going to hammer down, try and get this last 12 miles, 13 miles, whatever I got to go, so I can give this bike a break. All right, now this is
This is more what I'm talking about. A little more of a country road. I can just cruise it between 40-45 mile an hour. Enjoy the scenery, which is really nice. What's this? Is this tobacco? Huh, is that a tobacco field? Yeah, tobacco barn. Oh wow, I don't know if that showed up, the barn there on the left. It had the tobacco hanging in it. So what did this guy on this, there's a barn here on the right coming up, and the trailer, the tractor's got something on the, is that tobacco? Yeah, it is tobacco. Wow, look at it. Pretty neat. Oh, wow, that's a nice looking tobacco barn over here. That's a newer one. Well, I'm hoping I stay dry. Looking at the forecast, when I get a little bit closer to home, maybe I might have a chance of getting a little bit wet, but right now it doesn't look too bad. So, alright, I'm going to just enjoy the scenery, enjoy just cruising along at 45 mile an hour. So, guys, I'll see you on the next stop. I'm getting ready to head into Falmouth, Kentucky. I'm gonna make a fuel stop. It's here in just 2 or 3 miles, but as I was rolling through this little country road, I came across a tobacco field that had not been harvested yet. A lot of them had. So I just thought, you know what, I'll jump off here for anybody that's never been or never seen. And this is definitely the heart of tobacco country. I've lost track of how many tobacco barns I've passed in the last 25 miles or so. Listen to her just purring along, if you can hear that. All right, guys, I have arrived in Falmouth, Kentucky. I just had an incredibly enjoyable ride. So I started off and I left Vanceburg and headed to Germantown. And then that entire trip was congested, 55 mile an hour. Just not fun. Headwind. After I got to Germantown, I was on Kentucky 22, and I rode that to here. Oh, incredible. You know, one of those roads you go 20 miles to cover 8. It's always weird talking to yourself and somebody's in a pump next to you. But so I have covered 70.5 miles today. I just put exactly 1 gallon of fuel in it, so we're getting right at 70 miles to the gallon. So far, so good. Yeah, got a little bit of slack in some chain, but I think I'm gonna let her ride for right now. See how far we can go. All right, guys, I'm gonna go in and get me something to drink, and then keep putting miles down. Well, I'm still in Falmouth, Kentucky. I pulled away from the gas station and just kind of pulled alongside the road here, and I wanted to drink, get some caffeine. I bought Dr. Pepper, and I'm drinking that here.
caffeine addiction is real. Boy, I tell you what, I don't know if anybody's ever had that. If you go too long without caffeine, you start getting really bad headaches. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I get mine through soft drinks. I know it ain't good, but it is what it is. But as I'm pulled over here, looking at the bike, drinking my drink, it dawned on me, we passed 1,000 miles and I didn't even think about it. We were at 950 last night when I pulled in to the Airbnb, and I'm at 72 miles now on today's trip. So 22 miles ago, I passed the 1,000-mile mark and didn't even think about it and commemorate it or anything. But 1,000 miles on that little mini bike. And we've got 150 more to go or something like that. So I just, unbelievable, isn't it? 1,000 miles. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a little bit busier road, so I better pack back up and let's get back on it. See you guys.
It's kind of a pretty view, looking out across there. Oh, better watch out for traffic though, Mike. You can enjoy the views, but you also got to keep an eye on the road. Now, this is my kind of road here. Doesn't even have lines down the middle of it. Just white ones on the edge. That's it. Just kind of cover whatever area you need to cover. This is Kentucky 3184. I'm heading west. Now I just got to remember that I filled up at the 70-mile mark and don't go too far again and run out of fuel. So, oh wow, this is a nice riding little road. All right, guys, I'm going to, because it is so narrow, I probably need to concentrate on watching the road. So I'll let you go, pick you up at the next stop. I have to say, this has been the most enjoyable riding day of the entire trip. Outside of that first 30 miles going from Vanceburg to Georgetown. Since that point, now we're on a little more major road here, doing 52 mile an hour. But up until just a mile or so ago when I got on this road, from Georgetown to here, so I don't know how many miles that's been, 30, the last 70 miles or something like that. It has just been curvy country roads, not real traveled. I haven't had to worry about traffic. I've just been able to run 40, 45 mile an hour, enjoy the scenery. And this is a bumpy one here, man. It just got a lot of dips in it. But it has truly been a enjoyable day to ride a bike. I don't know if you can see the clouds. We did not get any rain, thank goodness, as of yet anyway. And so the temperature's nice. Yeah, it's just been really nice. Now I know some of you might be thinking about, hey Mike, what's going on with the back tire on the bike? Well, if you don't know, you don't know. So if you don't look at it, you don't know. Actually, it wore down to a certain point. I think it wore the high spot off of that center tread part. And now that it's running, it's hitting the center and the side treads. It's had very little wear the last few days. Now, I don't know. That might be contributed to some due to the temperature. It's been much cooler than it has been the first 2 days of the trip. So, not really sure, but I'm definitely gonna make it fine. There's no risk of blowing a tire or anything like that. It's got plenty of tread on it. So. All right, we are coming up close in a little bit. I'm not exactly sure, maybe within about 10 miles, and we will be crossing the state line back into Indiana. So I'll see you guys when we get there.
Well, unfortunately, like I said, there wasn't much fanfare. They didn't even have a very good sign showing that we were back in Indiana again. Treat time. So I stopped in Vive, Indiana to refuel and get a snack. Now, I've been to this town once before. Maybe about 50 years ago, when I was about 10, somewhere around 10, my elementary school took a field trip here. And it's quite a distance from where I grew up. Vive's a little river town along the Ohio River. Lots of touristy stuff to do. I don't even remember why we came. I mean, like I said, it's 50 years ago. I was just happy. It was the day I didn't have to sit in the classroom. So, but if you're ever in the area, check Switzerland County, Indiana, along the Ohio River. Check it out. It's pretty cute little town. So, all right, I am going to finish my Klondike bar and then jump back on the bike. And we are almost home. But it's good to be back on Indiana soil. Yep. So, almost done.
Well, just a little bit ago, just right back there, we passed 149 miles for today. And you might go, well, what's so special about 149 miles, Mike, that you needed to turn on the camera? Well, if you remember right, we started today out at 950 miles for the trip. So here in less than a half a mile, when I hit 150, that's 1,100 for the trip. We're getting close. One more 10. Come on. There! 1,100 miles for this trip. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to make 1,200 because I think we're only about 70 miles from home. And I am not going to go out of my way 30 miles just to say, as much as I'd love to say we did 1,200, I'm not going to go 30 miles more out of my way just so I can do it. So, 1,100. Pretty cool. Now I realize what I'm doing right here is not really recommended nor safe. But I am hugging the draft off of this box truck in front of me. And he is pulling me along at about 58, 59 mile an hour. And I'm maybe half throttle. I'm not even got into it. I couldn't do this kind of speed really on my own, especially there's no trees around, so nothing's blocking the wind. And when I got to fight the wind, doing 50 is a challenge, but hugging on to the back of this big boy, I can, like I said, we're trucking right down the road. So, like again, don't recommend it. If he runs over something, I've got zero time to react and can't see it, but I am making up for some time, and there's supposed to be a storm rolling in. I'm trying to get home and beat the storm.
hopefully this is the last fuel stop before I get home. I'm back in Greensburg, Indiana, place that had the tree growing out top of the courthouse. So we're gonna put fuel in. Mama Warner texted me a little bit ago and said apparently some storms are rolling in about 3. It's 12:50 right now, so we should beat the, if 3 o'clock is the time, then we should beat that. .738 gallons. Okay, let's go home.
Well, guys, it's not looking real good weather-wise. My GPS says I'm 52 miles from home, and I gotta go that way, and that's the way that's looking stormish. Yeah, it's looking kind of dark. I might get wet before I get home. You know, if that's the case, I still consider myself extremely lucky on this trip that I've, didn't run into any kind of real bad weather. There was a little bit of moisture when we were in West Virginia. Didn't amount to a whole lot. All right, I'm going to see what happens in this next 50 miles. Hopefully I don't get too wet. Well, I'm about somewhere between 20 and 25 miles from the house. I'm in a little town of Edinburgh, Indiana. I don't know what's up with the engine, but from the time I left Greensburg, this freaking thing has just took off. After being towed behind that box truck at 58, 59 mile an hour, it's like the engine went, oh, you want to go that fast? I'm like, okay. We absolutely scooted across from Greensburg to here. Now, granted, it was a little bit through the country, so there were trees and farm fields. There wasn't any, real wind knocking me back. But I was running 57, 58 mile an hour on my own. Just incredible. So, I don't know. The little engine that could, the little bike that could, just unbelievable. So, all right, like I said, I'm probably 20 miles from the house, so I think I'm going to beat the weather. It's not looking, it actually looks a little bit better now than what it did when I was over toward Greensburg. So, all right, I will see you guys when I get to the house. Well, what do you say? You guys want to ride the last mile and a half or so in with me? What an incredible journey. So 32, 33, so 1,183 miles from start to finish on a 51-year-old bike that I really didn't even do anything special to prepare it. It's got the original wheel bearings. The tires were on this bike when I bought it 10, 12 years ago, so I don't know how old they are or how many miles they have on them. It's, it's set up with the original brake, shoes. It doesn't have disc brakes. It's got drum brakes, and, I never once felt that those were inadequate. It's got an engine that was not meant to be in this bike. It doesn't bolt in. I had to fabricate brackets to get the Life in 125 to fit in here. So you know, more than likely chains and things aren't lined up 100% perfect, but it all just worked. Pretty amazing. I really appreciate all of you guys tagging along. If you watched for even a second, I appreciate it. If you watched them all, well, I even appreciate that more. But a lot of you guys have always been there for me, and I couldn't do this stuff without you. So, and like I can't remember what video it was I mentioned, part of doing this, I really didn't have too much fear because I knew you guys were out there. I knew if something serious came along and I needed help, that somewhere, somebody within a few hours who watches my videos would probably come to help. So it's going to be nice to pull in this driveway after 233 miles today. Each day was nearly, well, today was a little over 6 hours in the saddle. Some days have been as much as 8. Five straight days, and here we are, fellas. Hard to believe it's come to an end. But I just pulled in my driveway. And looky there she is. There's my smoking little mama, and there's little Rico. Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah, he's like, who the hell is this? He hasn't seen me for a week. Guys, I'll pick this up when I get to the shop, and we'll do a wrap-up video of the bike and how the trip really went. So thanks for following along.
Well, I guess I couldn't ask for any better timing than that. About 30 minutes after I rolled in on the bike, it did start raining here. Now, it's not a really hard rain, just a nice gentle rain. Wouldn't have been so bad to ride in, but I'm kind of thankful I didn't get wet. Well, there it is. My 5-day journey of riding the little Honda ST90 from central Indiana to eastern West Virginia. I know I've said this many, many times, probably too many times, but what a fantastic trip it was. Yeah, it had its ups and downs, but that's what makes an adventure. You know, if everything went smoothly and you didn't have any issues, would it really be all that much fun? I'm sure it would have been, but having the few little things along the way that I had to work through just added to it. And in the end, when you do get it done and you do, it just gives you a sense of accomplishment that, okay, wow, I did complete that. So hopefully, maybe this series inspires you to jump on your bike and, you know, if you can't take 5 days, maybe do a weekend. You know, find a destination that you can ride to one day, you know, spend a night and then ride back the next. I don't know. Get out and ride your bikes. Couple thank yous. Obviously, I owe a huge thank you to Mama Warner, my wife, for her allowing me the 5 days to go do this. I know she was super stressed the entire time, worrying about me. Obviously, I went with no backup vehicle, no real game plan that if anything did go wrong, what I would do other than carrying all my parts and tools. But thanks, Amy. Love you, hon. Appreciate you letting me do that. I need to thank Brock, J. Bell, and Isaac, my 3 wild piglet buddies that rode with me around Lake Michigan. If it had not been for that ride, I don't know that I even thought that I could complete this one. So thank you guys for doing that journey with me and giving me the confidence to pull this off. And then Ben out in West Virginia. Ben, thank you very much for organizing the ride that we had and the other other people that showed up for that event. It was nice to meet you all. But Ben, if it hadn't been for you, then none of this would have, you know, probably ever happened. So there it is. I don't want to keep chatting. You guys hear me talk enough. Thanks for following along on the videos. I guess I owe all of you a thank you too for all the likes and comments and so forth. So appreciate that. And I will see you guys on the next videos and the next adventure, because there's going to be more.